I'm paying $3,000 a month on my private student loans. I'm not going to be in debt for long, and by God's grace and His mercy, He will continue to guide me and lead me and point me in the direction to be able to pay off my debt, to live a debt-free life. For those of you who don't know, I received my Doctor of Pharmacy degree back in 2020, whoop whoop. And with that degree, I accumulated 6 figures in student loan debt. Not all of that debt is just from pharmacy school, but from undergrad, I did take out some loans there. Thankfully, I went to a SUNY, so not as much, but my pharmacy school was a private school, so I did accumulate a lot of debt there. One of the biggest things that I wanted to do when I graduated was to make sure that I educated myself on money. I educated myself on how to properly manage my money. Going from making like little to no money to now making 6 figures, I wanted to make sure that I was handling my money appropriately. And so I wanted to make this video to encourage anyone who feels like they didn't have the proper money spending habits growing up. They didn't learn about money, all that stuff. I was in that boat, and I'm so happy that God has truly provided me with resources to be able to help me get understanding and wisdom and knowledge about how to spend my money. So I'm just going to go right into it. Y'all are just going to know everything, okay? But I really want this to be a great resource for you, to help you to like make a spreadsheet, make a budget, and to be able to manage your money well. So I have my laptop here because I have my spreadsheet on it, and I'll also like post it on the screen so you could see. So first and foremost, one thing that I did was I got a financial advisor. Y'all, this was a game changer for me because he really helped to break things down and show me like, hey, this is where your money could be. This is where you could be. If you create this budget, this is where you could be in 5 years. Of course, it's an estimate, but it was a great start for me to understand and learn and to see if I act now, these are the things that could happen in 5 years or so with my money. So having a financial advisor was key, and my financial advisor is amazing. I found him through Northwestern Mutual, and you could do the same. I'll reach out to him. I'll like text him and ask him if it's fine if I share his info below. I don't want everyone to like bombard him, but I'll ask him first. If not, I found him through Northwestern Mutual. You can shop around, shop around. But I had met with another financial advisor previously, and I did not want to continue working with that advisor, and I set up a meeting with another one. I liked him, and so I continued to work with him. And he's great. I love it. He really breaks things down so easy to help me understand. And so I absolutely recommend getting a financial advisor. As soon as I get paid, I pay my tithes. I believe in tithes and offerings, and I think it is important as a Christian to pay your tithes and offerings. I know there is a lot of other opinions out there, but I personally believe that God has given me my job. So I give back to God through my church so that they can continue to glorify God, edify the kingdom, bring others to Christ. And so that's what I do. So that's roughly around $651 I spend per month. So when I first graduated, I wasn't working full time. I didn't get a official full-time position until I started working at the Pediatric Long-Term Care Center. So I wasn't paying putting extra on my loans. So I really just focused on saving last year, and making a savings account because I didn't have one. I had mentioned before I utilize a high yield savings account through Ally. I think this is a great place for your emergency savings because it accumulates so much more interest than having a bank savings account. I was keeping my money in a bank savings account and it was not growing. Whereas with Ally, I've seen like dollars of interest, and so far I think I've gotten like $100+ in interest. So a lot of people will be like, that's not that much, but hey, that's something. For my private loans, my interest rate right now is like 3-something%, which is pretty good. I locked that in 2020 when I refinanced my private loan. So I'm going to focus on my private loans, okay? So when I did my refinancing, the minimum amount I had to pay each month was $1,100 roughly. So last year I was just paying that amount. I wasn't putting down extra. So I didn't want to get locked into a specific amount and then not be able to pay it. So I decided to just pay the minimum amount. So as soon as I got a full-time job, I have a consistent paycheck. It's a salary, so I know how much I'm making. I decided to now be more aggressive with paying back my loans. So when I spoke to my financial advisor, we came up with a plan of putting down $3,000 a month on my private student loans. Let me make that very clear. I'm paying $3,000 a month on my private student loans because right now my federal loans are on pause, and so I don't need to pay any money on that. So he was just like, just focus on your private loans. I currently work with a company called GradFin as well, and they focus on private student loans and public student loan forgiveness. So where I work, I can potentially get public student loan forgiveness after 10 years or 120 qualifying payments. So I'm utilizing that track. And then I'm just going to be paying income driven. So I haven't been paying that yet. So when that process starts up again, I believe in January, then I will be moving forward with paying that. So that's not included in this budget. But a lot of people are just like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just pay for everything aggressively? The reason why I'm doing that is, as my financial advisor says, do not throw away free money. So a lot of people will be like, just pay it off and everything. Like, do not throw away free money. If I can get it forgiven, why not? And so that's the plan that I'm going with. Next, we have my savings slash investments. This is like 6 months of what I would need if I'm not working to cover my finances, all of that. So I use Ally based off the budget that my financial advisor suggested. He suggested to put $700 a month into that account and then $300 a month into an investment account that I have with Northwestern Mutual with mutual funds. So this way I am still saving and I'm also investing, so that way my money can continue to grow and make money over the years. So that's a total of $1,000 that I put towards savings and investing. So through Northwestern Mutual, I also have their disability insurance. This insurance is supplemental to what I have to my job, just in case, God forbid, if something happens, I will be able to make my full income as opposed to just a partial amount of my income. So that costs $57 per month. In addition, I also have like subscriptions and stuff like that. The one subscription that is consistent for me is my Hulu and Spotify. That's $10 a month that I spend on Hulu and Spotify. I think that's a pretty great deal. That's like $5 each. I've had that ever since college, and so for me, it's convenient. I like it. I'm not getting rid of it. So I spend $10 on Spotify and Hulu. But my gym membership is $40 a month. This is discounted through my job, so I'm try to stay active. I try to be fit and healthy. That's also like what's included in my budget. And then, as you all can see, I have braces. So I pay $160 a month. This actually is going to end in January. So I just have a few more months left of paying, and then my braces will be paid off. But just wanted to include it since I'm making this video now. I still am spending $160 a month on my braces. This was for 2 years or so, something like that. But all I know is y'all can watch my video about my braces. I do have dental insurance that I pay privately for, and I pay that once a year. I guess I should include that in my budget, but it's like $100 something or $200 something a year. I just pay that once and then that's it. And then the next expense that I have is my phone bill. That's around $164 each month. I don't pay rent. I live with my parents. And so the least I could do is to contribute in some way, shape, or form. And so my contribution is paying the phone bill for all of us. And that is $164 a month. And the next thing that I spend money on is gas. Gas, so far, gas has been a little bit more since working at this new job because I am working a little further than my old job. My old job was like 10 minutes away. and my new job is like 20 minutes away. So I am spending around like $100 a month on gas. I utilize all the apps and all the things to get discounted gas any way possible that I can. So remember that time when like gas was like $5 and all those prices? I never spent that much. Like I always spent less because I went to a gas station that had an app, so you would get discounted gas, and so that's what I've been utilizing. And so usually to fill my tank, it's like $50 or so. So I usually fill my tank like twice a month, depending on, how often I'm like going out to the city to see my friends or like, all that stuff. Then maybe it might be $150 a month, but that's roughly how much I spend on gas. Another expense that I have is I spend $541 each month on a class that I'm taking. I'll go more into detail about this class later on, but for right now, all y'all need to know is I'm taking a class, and so that is the cost of the class that I'm spending each month. It's not finance or anything, it's just like that's the payment plan that I decided to utilize, $541 a month. Depending, we'll see. I might just like end up paying it off at some point, but for right now, that's what is my budget. I work full time at a pediatric long-term care center, and I work per diem at a rehabilitation center. I work there every other Saturday, and I also work per diem at the hospital that I used to work at. Well, full time, part time, full time, yeah. So I have two per diem jobs. I included one of them into my budget because that's every other Saturday. That's consistent. Whereas the hospital, it's kind of like whatever schedule that I give them or whatever availability that they have, then I work. So far, it's been around like one shift a week of like 6 hours. So I haven't included the hospital into my budget. So that money is kind of extra money to utilize for, life happens. So I've been utilizing it really for that. Um, but so I just want to let y'all know that that's not necessarily included in this budget. So there is extra income. However, that extra income, my financial advisor said to put towards my private loans and things of that sort, or anything that comes up. So as my financial advisor says, is that you can't just work all the time and not have fun. So I have um, a fun money like expense. This is like fun money slash like offering slash giving, like all that stuff. So that leaves me with $650 left for the month. So this is like nails, food, like I said, offering, donations, all of that is included in that amount. Um, so far, I just use my credit card. So then I pay off my credit card every month. I do not leave a balance because then they'll charge interest, and interest is like 20 something percent. So I try to pay off my credit card, or I do pay off my credit card at the end of every month. So that's kind of like where that 650 goes, is that I just use my credit card so that way it can continue to build my credit. Um, and yeah, but I'll see how that works because like I never want to go over the amount that I'm supposed to. So I did end up like I have a PayPal account, so I ended up getting a debit card through them, and then I might just like put money on there and just use that for my fun money. But we'll see. We'll see how consistent I am, because like I pay off my credit card bill at the end of the month, but I haven't been really checking like is it within that range of like 650. So just want to make sure of that. But ultimately that is my budget. That is how I spend my money, and that is how I am paying off my debt. Once January comes around, or not even before January, I'm working with, like I said, a company called GradFin, and they help with organizing how to pay your federal student loans to make sure that you are on the right track to get student loan forgiveness. So I'm working with them. I had a meeting with them, and I have to have another meeting with them to establish like how much I'm going to be paying each month. So this budget could change. Um, Hopefully not too much, and hopefully with not including the hospital budget into this amount, that this could it won't offset my budget too much. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I encourage you to pray and to seek God regarding your finances. I already knew, I said, I'm not going to be in debt for long. I'm not going to be in debt for long. And by God's grace and His mercy, He will continue to guide me and lead me and point me in the direction to be able to pay off my debt, to live a debt-free life. And I'm really being diligent about it. And so I hope that this video is helpful for anyone who is, confused about money, needs to learn more about money. That was me too, so don't feel bad. I needed to educate myself, and I am currently doing that and continuously doing that and continuously seeking God because He's my provider at the end of the day. So I remember when I made my video about how much debt I was in, I was just like, my debt is already paid off in Jesus' name. And I truly wholeheartedly believe that. And I'm just working towards doing that as well, because faith without works is what? Dead. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful and that you learned something, that you are encouraged to just seek God and trust Him, and that He will provide the right people on your path to be able to give you the resources that you need. So y'all already know the deal. Go out, be kind, be caring, be loving, and as always, be His masterpiece. Bye, y'all.